I think desperately we need God. We need God in everything that we know. You know, every part of our life. We need God to find us a job. We need God to heal a person. We need God to heal my mother who is blind at the moment. In fact, I was asking God today to heal my mother that she can regain her sight. And if He can do that before the Bible said it, and it was read out, and I believe that that will happen to my mother. And she's back home in Wewak, and hopefully it will happen to her here. I don't know whether she's here or she's down there, but I believe that my mother is healed and there will be some changes.
The way I see it, the Revival Fellowship has triggered the social revolution. And for the country, I think this is the only way. This is the only way, I'm sure.
Pastor Jeffrey Aragani is the head pastor of the Port Moresby Fellowship. He has seen the fellowship grow quickly in less than a decade. He tells us that big changes happen in not only the people who receive the Holy Spirit, but also within their local communities.
The way things are going here in Papua New Guinea, especially here in Port Moresby, there is no answer. There's really no answer. We can't find leadership in the government. We can't find leadership in just religion. But the revival movement in Papua New Guinea has done a lot of great things for the people personally, for the families, and also for the community. Again, the politicians are blind to it, but simple people on the streets, they appreciate it. They really appreciate it because we now have, and they've welcomed us. Proof of that is we now have our house meetings, small buildings in many parts of Port Moresby, and especially in notorious parts, in Gerawu, in 2 Mile, in Vada Vada. These are notorious parts, and we now have fellowships in there. And something I realized, when the fellowships get in there, the crime rate goes down, because people who are actually the leading figures come and get baptized, and they get filled with the Holy Spirit.
One former criminal who has seen his life change dramatically is Kevin Aputi from Port Moresby. We last met Kevin at the Madang rally in 2000, telling his story about how his life has been changed by God. In 1997, Kevin was diagnosed with HIV. He was a local crime gang member and in trouble with the police. 2 women he had been involved with had died from AIDS. He later found out that he too was infected.
That time, I don't believe in God. I believe in God, but I still go to church, come back again, and do the things that Bible does not tell us to do. I go around with drinking beer, alcohol, and pulling drugs, and going around with prostitutes. When I was doing that, I thought it was life, so I started doing all those things. So in '97, I felt sick, so I went to the Port Moresby General Hospital. Then doctors took my blood, and my result was HIV positive at that time. So I came, I was still, I felt sick on 99, so I live with the HIV virus. So I stayed under the house for 1 year, 21 days with the virus.
In 1999, some members of the Port Moresby Revival Fellowship came and prayed with him. Kevin asked to be baptized, and he later received the Holy Spirit and spoke in tongues. Kevin has received a miraculous healing. He now attends the Port Moresby Revival Fellowship, along with his parents and his new wife.
I went to the clinic, STD clinic. My doctors took my blood, and my blood was negative. So they don't tell me to anything. They told me that you can eat any food. Now you're right, so you don't have to come back to a test again. When they saw me they were very happy. And then plenty of them, they repented, baptized, and received the Holy Spirit. My father, my mother, my brother, and his wife. So now they're in the fellowship, and now they treat me as their son. So we all are saved, and we received the God's Holy Spirit, and now we're in the fellowship. They're happy now. They're happy with me.
This is the Sexually Transmitted Infections Clinic at Port Moresby General Hospital. PNG is a deeply religious country in which sexuality is taboo. Fear and misinformation about HIV and AIDS is widespread. Many of those who are diagnosed with the disease run away to save their families the shame and humiliation of their disease. Few stay around for proper treatment. The disease is spreading rapidly throughout the country. At the current rate of infection, AIDS is set to overtake malaria as PNG's most deadly disease. In Port Moresby, the safe sex message is slowly getting through. Numbers of those lining up for AIDS screening are rising. Dr. Tomkins Tabua was Senior Medical Officer at the STD HIV AIDS Clinic for the PNG National Department of Health. He's been a doctor for more than 20 years. He tested Kevin for HIV. This is the first time they have met since Kevin's healing.
God is a creator God, and He loves us all. If He can give and He can take away.
Kevin is the only patient Dr. Tabua has met who has been healed.
Soon after he came to the office, to the clinic, and we did the testing, and then proven that he was a carrier of the virus. We had to do a test to make a proof of it, whether it was positive or negative. And yes, he was positive, but we needed to make sure that he understood what it was to be a positive person, and tried to help him to understand that as well. And I may have said that, God bless, and I hope to see you again.
In reality, however, that second meeting never takes place. Kevin is the exception. We obtained copies of Kevin's medical records. His initial report states that he is HIV positive. Less than 2 years later, Kevin was found to be HIV negative. With no known cure for the killer virus, the only definite the doctor conveys to his patients is whether they are in fact HIV positive or negative. As for Kevin, the doctor acknowledges divine intervention without hesitation.
I believe anything like that would have been healing from the Lord.
Yehovah, Yehovah.